Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. How are you guys doing today? Okay, I know I'm probably a little insane for sitting out here because it is freezing cold outside today. I have my scarf on and I have my Ugg coat. I got this like last year or the year before, my winter coat. It is very, very cold outside. Okay, but I'm excited too for sitting outside because we got some snow today. And I didn't even know it was supposed to snow today. Alex just said to me, he goes, "Are you really going outside to vlog?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Babe, you can sit inside and vlog." And I said, "I know," because he's just upstairs like listening to TikToks and stuff. And I was like, but I haven't been outside all day long, so I wanted to sit out here for a little bit. It feels so nice. I love seeing the snow. It's very Christmassy. So I want to sit outside for a little bit. If it gets too cold, then I will move the last part of the vlog. I'm so cold, I can't say it. The last part of the vlog inside. I'm getting kind of started late on this vlog today. It is currently 7:11 p.m. Oh, it just turned 7:12. It's now 7:12, and let's see what the temperature is outside. I have no idea. This is the first time that I am checking the Weather Channel today. Oh my gosh, it is 23 and cloudy outside, and there is a special weather advisory. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. What is it going to say? Are we getting a blizzard? Oh my god, are we going to get snowed in? I hope so. Now until 10 p.m., I guess it's over, almost. Special weather statement. Special statement. That's what my vlog's going to be called. I'll totally forget this by the time I'm done, but special statement. Avoid, okay, light snow will diminish from northwest to southwest this evening. Temperatures below freezing. Talking about roads being slick on bridges and things like that. Okay. So you guys want to see the snow? Do you guys want to see the big snowfall that we got today? Okay. It's not a lot, but I can't believe, like, I came out here earlier to get the mail and I was like, oh my god, it's snowing. And it was like a light snow, but because it's so cold outside, I think it's like sticking to the ground, you know? So actually I'm going to take you guys, we'll do a little field trip out into the yard so you can see. Look, we got some snow. It's pretty, isn't it? You guys liked when I took you outside and showed you the snow last time I did this. But look, the whole street is covered with snow and everything. I can hardly believe it. Can you even believe it? Oh my lord. Oh, it smells so good out here. It smells so fresh. Look at that sky. Oh, that should be my thumbnail, shouldn't it? With me, like, looking. Anyway, we need to move up underneath the patio because it's cold. It is cold out here. And I got candles to light. And I have books to show you guys. And I just made literally my first cup of coffee for the day. So I have coffee to drink. And let's get cozy on the front porch. But I'm very, very happy about the snow. So we having a snowstorm. Well, not really a snowstorm. I mean, we got a dusting of snow. Okay. Whew. So, but I came prepared for my hands being cold too. So I have my glasses right here. I have my lighter to light the candles in a second. I brought the Christmas books because I want to show you guys the Christmas books. And then I also brought my mittens. Are these mittens or are they gloves? Okay, so people are saying they're gloves because if they're gloves, they cover your fingers. And if they're mittens, they cover your fingers. If they're gloves, they don't cover. But look, what do you call these? I got these at Fresh Time. They were actually kind of expensive. They were like $30. But what do you call these? What do you call them? Glittens? Mugs? What do you call them? I don't know what to call them. Who is texting me? We'll deal with that later. Okay, let's light some of these candles first so we can get a warm, cozy fire going on the front porch. It's not warm out here at all. And I just made this cup of coffee. This is like my new favorite cup, this Sobriety cup. I love it. People ask me all the time, what is something I can do to be supportive of my friend or family member? If you have a friend or a family member that is, well, I guess you would have to have at least a year sober because it would say the date on here. Because of the year. But anyway, I guess you could get this year. If they got sober this year, you could put 2024 on it. But you just go in and you can put in there Sober Sense coffee cup or coffee tumbler or mug. And then it'll just come up. And you can put like 1994, 1995. You could put 2005. You could put any year and it'll come up. So you just order the cup of that year. And I think this was like $19 or something like that. But I love this cup so much. Okay. Let's light some of these candles. Whew! My lord, it's getting so cold out here. I guess it is so cold out here. Not many neighbors walk in the streets tonight. I can say that. They're all inside, cozy. Probably next to their fireplaces that they remembered to call in September to have fixed. Unfortunately, Peter did not. So we will not be having a fire in the fireplace tonight. But thank God for wax melts, because I have my wax melt fireplace. I need to open my other one. So the candles are lit. Look how pretty that is. Look at that. Oh, we got a little fireplace going right here. Okay. So let me put on my glittens. Let me put on my mittens. What are these called? I don't know. Fingerless mittens. I don't know. I don't really think that they really help that much, if you want to know the truth, but they are cute, don't you think? Anyway, okay. I have made. So well, I really didn't get started that late on making videos today. I think I got started about 2. Making videos today. Maybe it was 2:30, but I think it was like 2. I usually don't start till like 3:30 filming videos. So I didn't get started that late. So I don't know why it took me until now. Well, so anyway, I filmed a drama video. It's like 48 minutes long. And then I filmed Peter Watches TV video about Sister Wives, because I took my notes on that last night. That was 34 minutes long. And then I filmed a booktube video, which was like 19 minutes long. It's 13 Christmas mysteries and thrillers to read this year that I'm reading this year. I'm so excited about that. And 2 of them I have in front of me right here. And then I did a review of A Christmas Story Advent Calendar today. And then I did, what was the other one? I did a Peterisms video. Is that 4? Drama. Peter Watches TV. Review. Booktube. Peterisms. Yeah, and now the vlog. So I filmed 6 videos today. But I thought I would get them up a lot earlier. I thought I would be vlogging, like, out here at, like, 5 o'clock. I was excited. I was going to, like, walk down to the pool and oh my God, they have all their Christmas lights up down there. I was going to show you guys the pool if it was covered in snow. I didn't go look, so I don't know. But anyway, I was really excited about all that. But that didn't happen. Because, so, for, like, each video, like, my drama video is, like, 48 minutes long. It takes, like, 20 minutes to render. So, that's, like, 40 minutes. Okay, so it's, like, 15 minutes, like, getting everything ready together, and then 15 minutes afterwards, so it's, like, a half an hour. So, it ends up being, like, and then uploading it, which that takes, like, another hour to upload it. So, it's like, each video takes a lot longer. So, I guess it makes sense that it took me a while to get these videos up today, but I had a fun time doing it. On my booktube channel, I showed, so this is the Per Jacobson book that I've been talking about. It's like the book Advent Calendar, where you read a chapter every single day. Okay, it's very cheesily written, but I'm loving it. And at midnight every night, I read the new chapter. I know, I kind of like, it's good enough that I could go forward and I could like read more of it. Last night I sat in the chair and I read for like another 40 minutes. I read the Maximum Ride book by James Patterson. In the last 2 weeks, I've probably ordered like 6 or 7 James Patterson books. I'm kind of loving the James Patterson books again. I like dogged them for so long. I was like, they're cheesy, they're horribly written. They are cheesy and they are horribly written, but they are fast reads and they are so fun to kind of get into and read. Oh my God, the steam is just like coming off of this coffee cup. Look at that. Woo! Oh, come all ye faithful. Anyway, the first chapter, day 1, was like 20-some pages, but it still only took me like a half an hour. Last night, it was only 9 pages. It took me like 5 minutes to read. Nikki and I were both texting each other. She's like, I can't wait till tomorrow night. I was like, me too! But people are like, I saw like on Facebook where people are reading this, because there's a lot of people in this like Facebook, psychological thriller Facebook group or whatever. They're like binging it. And I'm like, that's not the rules. You have to read a chapter a day. I'm kind of confused though, because there's going to be some snowstorm that happens. I already have it figured out. So, I mean, I can't ruin it for you because I've only read the first 2 days. Okay, see, like, look. Here. December 3rd. I haven't read this yet. Somebody sent me this bookmark. Isn't this so pretty? It says To Kill a Mockingbird on it. I love this bookmark. So anyway, so I know what's going to happen. They are at this, this cabin. So it's this family, and they're from the city, and they rent this cabin in the middle of nowhere, okay? And they have to take care of these animals and stuff, and like the first night, like, something horrible happens to one of the animals. But anyway, there's a serial killer that's on the loose, okay? The book, actually, the synopsis does it no justice. The book is, like, really cheesily written. I was thinking last night, I was like, I'm writing one of these next year. I am. I come up with all these ideas, you know. I thought for sure this year I was going to have a movie and 5 books out. I did. I thought for sure I was going to have a movie and 5 books out, but that didn't happen. But you know what? Maybe next year I'll have an advent calendar mystery thriller book out. I think it'd be real fun, don't you? I was thinking I could do one for Halloween. This is where I just come up with so many ideas. You know, it's fun, isn't it? It's like, okay, I could do one for Halloween that you start like on October 1st, and then you read until October 31st. I think there's one like that already out there. But anyway, and then I could do a Christmas one. These would be easy to write. So I might do that next year. I got all kinds of ideas. I've already been outlining ideas, okay? Because, I mean, it was only 9 pages last night. So when I got done, I was like, oh my God, I have so many different ideas of what I would do if it was my book. I mean, of course it would be a cabin in the woods. They all are cabins in the woods. Every single one of them. I got the other one right here. It came today. I was so excited. But anyway, so it's about this family, okay? And the husband and wife, you can kind of tell, are not getting along. And, like, they have 2 daughters. And their daughters are kind of, they're like 9 and 15. But they're kind of, like, growing up. Like, the 15-year-old's, like, too cool for school kind of thing. And so they don't have any, like, internet or anything out there. And so the family is just supposed to spend a week together, right? Well, if you put it together, like, I watched that Hot Frosty movie. Literally, Alex and I were almost at the end of the movie. So many people commented on this when I said this. Not so many, but like 3 people. That's a lot for over here. Commented when I said it, because somebody even said another channel, like they did a commentary. I'm going to do a commentary video on Hot Frosty on my Peter Watches TV channel. Why do you think I watched it? That was the only reason I watched it, was to do a video about it. But somebody said, okay, so at the end of the movie, so, okay, her heat is broken in her house, okay? What I don't understand is she's like, they have this whole Pretty Woman moment where she goes and buys him a suit for the school dance and all this kind of stuff. I mean, the suit would be like a $5,000 suit that she buys him, okay? She don't got no money. She can't fix the floorboards on her stairs. He fixes everything for her. She can't pay to get the heating fixed in her house or any of this kind of stuff, but she can buy him a $5,000 suit. She buys him all this stuff, okay? Lacey Chabert, money does not equal love. Okay, that should be the epitome of any Netflix or Hallmark movie, Christmas movie. But anyway, so her at the very first thing they show is like her being cold, getting out of bed because she ain't got no heat in her house. Okay, what is going on here? Oh, I forgot this. It's a pocket. Don't worry about it. She's a pocket up there. Okay, so anyway. The very first thing they show is her getting out of bed. And she's like got blankets around her and she's cold because she ain't got no heat in her house. Okay, even though it's like December and she's freezing. She can't afford to get her heat fixed, right? Okay. Well, he's a snowman that's come to life. And he's constantly talking about how he's going to melt and things like that, right? Which basically just equals, why is everybody, oh, that's Gorin Brothers hats. They always are sending me text messages about deals and stuff because I buy so many of those damn hats. Anyway. He's always talking about, for him melting is basically just sweating is what it is. It's so dumb. The movie is so dumb, but it's so dumb that it's kind of like, it's cute. I cried at the end of it. Did I tell you that? I did cry at the end of it. I mean, the whole town comes together. You have to. So anyway, but he's talking about like, I don't know why. We're just like, I'm laying on the couch and Alex is in the chair. And we're like almost done with the movie. And I go, like they finally like are fixing the heat. And it's like, I mean, literally the last 2 minutes of the movie. I go, oh my God, like now I understand. The reason he could stay at her house was because she had no heat. And Alex looked at me and he goes, did you just figure that out? I was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm that stupid. I just figured it out. But anyway. What was I saying? Okay, so it's about, so this book, Per Jacobson, 25 Days. I'm going to also show the next one, the other Advent calendar book, which is called Xmas Break. Let's put the X back in Christmas by J.E. Rowney. It's very short, okay? So if you want to buy either one of these, I linked them. I did affiliate links today. I did them in both my drama video and I did them in my booktube video. So I'm not going to link them over here. If you want to go buy them from my link, you can go over. They're also free on Kindle Unlimited, so you don't have to buy them. You can just get them on the Kindle Unlimited. I wanted the paper versions of them. I think once I'm done, I'm going to give them to somebody else that likes to read next year, like Tanya Jean or something like that. Although she's reading this one on, I guess I won't be giving it to her. She's reading this one on the Kindle Unlimited. So it's stupid. I said, Tanya, she goes, I can't just stop at a chapter, because she can read like 400 pages a night. Okay. So this is about this family, and they go stay at this cabin in the woods. I've talked so much today. Do you guys ever think about that? Like I was saying that to, I think it was Nikki the other night, or Tanya. One of them said, like, I was losing my voice, and I said, that happened, occupational hazard or something. They're like, I sometimes don't even, like, realize, like, how much you must talk in a day. I'm like, you think? Okay, let's just put it together for a second, okay? If I film like a half an hour to a 45-minute vlog, okay? Then a half an hour Peter watches TV video. That's like an hour and 15 minutes, okay? Then let's do like a Peter does stuff video, 20 minutes, review video, 20 minutes. Now we're at like 2 to 3 hours, okay? And then like on top of that, a vlog, like let's say a vlog is like an hour to an hour and a half. That's 4.5 hours of me literally talking to myself, okay? That's what my day looks like. So you wonder why I'm crazy? That's why I'm crazy. I literally talk to this little camera right here for 4.5 hours a day. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to talking to myself again. So this book is about this family. Why am I so into this? I so thought I was going to be so cheesed out by this. Let me tell you what I'm over, okay? Is that Paula Hawkins book, The Blue Hour, I'm just really not, I mean, it's okay. But I really want to read Christmas books, and I'm having such a hard time getting through it, and I can't speed it up, okay, because the narrator talks so fast. So it's not like one of those books that I can listen to at like 2.5, 3 times speed just to get through it. I can't. And I like it enough that I don't want to speed through it. And it's too damn cold to go outside. Everybody keeps on asking me, did you order your walking pad? No, I've ordered everything else in the world, but I haven't ordered a walking pad. Do I have 16 of them pulled up on Amazon and I'm not sure which one to order? Yes. And do I look at them every single day? Yes. And I'm like, I don't know which walking pad to order. And do I think every single night, well, if you had ordered a walking pad, it would already be here and you could be sitting there listening to your Paula Hawkins book while you're walking inside in the warmth. Do I think that every single day? Hell yes. I think that every single day. Does my husband say to me, have you ordered your walking pad yet? And I say, no. Because you know why? I'm lazy. But I'm cozy. I'm lazy and I'm cozy. Okay, tonight, we're just going to do it. Tonight, we're just going to order. Okay, can 3 of you just tell me 3 separate walking pads to buy tonight, and I'll pick one of the 3 to... Don't be saying this and that. Okay, I just need 3 people, and I just need you to say, the walking pad I have is, okay? And if only if you like it. If you think you, like, I probably would buy another one, don't list it, okay? I mean, I need somebody to say, because everybody will be like, well, I bought this walking pad. It's okay. I like it, kind of. And I'm like... That ain't a sell. That ain't a sale. I need people to be like, this is the walking... Like, if there was 100,000 walking pads out there, the one I have is the one that I would buy. I need somebody to say that to me, okay? Because when I went through the last time, there were people like, well, I like it, but I kind of fall off of it sometimes. Or you can't walk too fast on it. Well, then don't tell me to buy it. I want the walking pad. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, I probably spend $200-300 on it. I know people are like, you could get a treadmill for that. I can't have a treadmill. Have you seen our house? It's so small. I can't have a treadmill in the middle of our house. I feel so relaxed. I had so much fun filming all those videos today. Can you tell? I'm in a good mood. But if I had a walking pad, then I could walk tonight and I could listen to Paula Hawkins' book. But I can't even sit out here and listen to Paula Hawkins' book. I have to sit in a chair inside or fold laundry. And there's only so much laundry that you can fold. Okay, anyway, back to this book. So this poor Jacobson book. I'm having so much fun this Christmas. Okay, I haven't put up the Christmas tree yet. I kind of made a decision last night, an executive decision, which I'll probably change. But I kind of made an executive decision that I'm not going to put the Christmas tree up in the bedroom. I'm going to put the one up downstairs, but not in the bedroom. Okay, the one that I bought for the bedroom, do you guys remember I bought it like several years ago, and it was from that Cranberry Frog or whatever? I ordered it like in October, and they didn't even send it until like the second week of December. I was so put out by it. Anyway, the tree's real cute and stuff like that, but it's a flocked tree, and it's heavily flocked, okay? And so you literally take it out of the box, and you have to, like, vacuum all over the floor and stuff, which is fine. I mean, that's fine. But I never really plugged it in that much last year, you know? And I think in my head, I was kind of like, well... I would plug it in, and then Boo Radley and I would, like, lay on the bed and stuff like that. And I would be like, Boo, look at the Christmas tree. And he could care less. But anyway, but it was like, you know, that. I mean, Alex didn't really care about, I mean, it wasn't like we were sleeping at night. If he would be like, yeah, turn it on and we'll sleep with the Christmas tree at night. But he likes it to be pitch black. So I don't even know that I'm going to put in the corner over there. I have this big basket with all my Birkenstock clogs and sandals in it. And to be honest with you, I don't know that I really want to move it because I kind of like it over there. I just throw all my shoes in there. Instead of having them underneath the couch that I had in the in the bedroom, so that little love seat that I have, I used to keep all of my like clogs and stuff underneath there. I have them now in that basket. So I don't know that I want to, I don't know that I want to put up the Christmas tree in the bedroom this year. And I have not put the Christmas bedding on yet. That was my plan today, but like time got away from me. So I think first thing tomorrow when I get up is putting up the Christmas bedding. Because that was why I didn't do a Peter Does Stuff video today, because I was going to show the Christmas bedding. So maybe that will be the first thing I do tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, back to the book. Okay. So it's about this family. They go stay in this cabin. The cabin has a barn. The dad got it because there's like animals. There's like piglets and chickens and things like that. Bunnies and all that kind of stuff. And so he thought like the girls would like taking care of the animals, which they do. And they're building snowmen and stuff out there. But it's scary too. But the cabin's like real nice. It's not like Cabin in the Woods, like, you know, like crap. It's like a really nice cabin. Like the dad's even surprised when he walks in there. But you only read a chapter a night. I'm loving this so far though. I really am. I mean, it's not the greatest written book in the entire world, but I don't even care. Okay, so the second one that I bought, it just came today. I'm so excited about this. It came right after I finished my BookTube video, or I would have included it in there. And so I looked online. Well, I think I was looking on there when I was vlogging the other night about... Anyway, somebody had put this up on one of these things. I had Nikki look it up because I was like, is it going to be too hard for me to catch up? And she was like, no, not at all. The chapters are really short. The chapters are like 3 pages, 4 pages long. Okay. So the second one is Xmas Break, a Christmas thriller by J.E. Rowney. Okay. Like I said, they're linked on my drama channel video and on my BookTube channel, or you can just look them up yourself. This one's called 25 Days, and this one is called Xmas Break. You can just look them up anywhere. And I think they're free on Kindle Unlimited, like I said. So this one, again, is 25 chapters. So you read a chapter a night. So tonight... Oh, did it go in the snow? Damn it, Janet. Okay. Didn't. So tonight, I get to read at midnight 3 of these chapters. I'm so excited. I'm like 100 pages into that Maximum Ride book. I'm kind of like getting back into... Well, I've been using that thing every single night. I love that thing. You know what I'm talking about? I had it forever, and I never used it. But it's like one of those neck lights... And you just like hit the ends of it. Oh my God, I love it. I just sit in the chair and I like read and drink coffee. It's one thing to sit in a chair and like listen to an audiobook. Like I struggle with that. Out here, I don't really have that hard of a time. But inside, I just feel like I'm like this. Just listening to, you know, somebody read. I don't know what the difference is between that and walking. 6 months from now, I'll be like, oh my God, I love sitting in my chair just listening to a book. But right now, I don't. But I do like sitting there reading. And reading these James Patterson books is kind of like taking me back. It's my early days of getting sober, and when I met Tanya, and we would always, like, at the grocery store on the way home, we would pick up, like, the newest James Patterson book or whatever, or, you know, whatever she would get the Nora Roberts books or Danielle Steele's, and we would get them, and then I would, like, go home, and I would just, like, tear through them. Like, I just kept on, like, I'd be like, okay, one more chapter, and then I was going to start a show. One more chapter, and then I was going to start a show, but I just kept on reading last night. I was having so much fun. So I don't know. You know, I'm not a great physical copy reader. I love to listen to audiobooks. So maybe the James Pattersons will get me back into listening to physical copy books. I do think in January, though, I think I'm going to do the James Patterson and Sue Grafton books because they're both short. I think that's what I'm going to do starting in January. And it's not even going to be like a huge project. People want to do it, read them with me, they can read them with me. If they don't have to. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to read all the Alex Cross books because I'm having fun with that. And later this week, I have a book haul, and I have a lot of James Patterson books in there. But anyway, so this was I'm like talking a mile a minute, and I hear it. Part of it is because I have been talking so much today. Part of it is because I'm cold. Part of it is because I'm in a really, really good mood. I started getting a headache. When Alex got home, I was like putting videos up, and I was like trying to like, I wanted to get these videos up, and I wanted to like come out here and vlog, and I didn't want it to get too late. And so Alex came in, and because I wanted to spend time with him, you know? And I was like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I am so tired. I am just going to rest. And so he went upstairs, and I was like, are you going to like watch? He's like, I'm literally just going to rest. And so I was like, you know what? This will just give him some time so I can go out there and vlog. And then I didn't feel rushed anymore. So now I'm having like fun, you know? But it is cold out here. So we might have to move inside in a little bit. But I'm having fun. So anyway, I'm in a good mood today. Isn't it weird? I saw this thing on Instagram. Oh, I wish I would have screenshot it. A lot of the things I resonate with, I screenshot just so I can remember them later. But it was like this like meme, and it said, when you're growing and healing and in a better place, like in a better mood, people think you're crazy. And they make fun of you for it. And I thought, God, there's so much truth to that, isn't there? Like, I can remember, like, when my mom would be, like, in such a good mood, and she'd be, like, laughing and dancing, and I'd be like, Mom, and she'd be like, you don't want your mom to have a good time, but when I'm real upset and stuff like that, then you're like, what's going on? Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, but if I'm in a good mood, just naturally a good mood, you think something's wrong. Like, what's going on? Something's off with you, or whatever. And I'm in a good mood today, and so I get my mom. So cheers to you, Mom. I think it's that I've also talked for the last 5 hours, so it's like, Anyway. This is why, like, at 10 o'clock every night, I just crash. My body just shuts down and I take a nap. Okay. So let's get into this one. This is the next one. I'm so excited. It's called Xmas Break. I think I could have probably thought of a better title. Do you think? Okay. It's 25 chapters. It's a Christmas thriller. I think it was like $9.99 or $19.99 or something. I don't know. I probably paid too much for it. I don't care. 25 chapters, one for each day of Advent. Will you be able to wait to turn the pages, or will this be your Christmas binge read? I'm going to wait to read the pages. When Isla reluctantly accepts her estranged, I've read this like so many times, okay? It's about these girls and they're like stuck in this cabin. As a brutal snowstorm cuts off from civilization, dark secrets begin to surface. With time running out and nowhere to run, two sisters must put aside years of mistrust to survive the night. But in a house full of lies, how do you know who to trust? A pulse-pounding Christmas thriller that will make you think twice about accepting that family holiday invitation. Perfect for fans of suspense who like their Christmas cookies with a side of terror. Okay, this is what I was going to say about this one. So this is what's real interesting. So it starts, I don't know if this one starts, I think this is just 25 chapters. And you can read one a day. Is that how it is? Yeah, it's just chapter 1. So these are just like, this is just chapter 1. But on here, okay, when it starts, like you can see, I'm in the 3rd chapter and it's December 3rd. Okay? So each day is a day of December. Like truly an advent calendar. I love this. But what I don't understand is that they're booked into the cabin for a week, okay? Now, the people that book them in the cabin, I ain't ruining anything for you because this is literally like in chapter 1, and if you're doing it with me, you should have already read it, okay? But the guy, I think his name's Bill, that owns the cabin. Bill and Mrs. Morris, I think she's the caretaker of the cabin. But anyway, he says, it's already like snowing like crazy outside. And he says if you get really bad snow, like you get stuck out here and you run out of food and reserves and stuff like that, then, like, he takes them somewhere in the backyard, in the ground, dug into the ground. Is this like a country people thing? I mean, we don't have holes dug in the ground with food in it out back, so I don't know. But is this like if you live way out in the country, people do this? He said it used to be like a storm shelter or something like that, or like a bomb shelter or whatever, but they turned it into like where they storm food. I mean, I know what a bomb shelter and a storm shelter is, okay? I've seen all that. I've seen, you know, what is it? Wizard of Oz and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, now I know what a storm shelter is and bomb shelters. I'm not stupid. I've seen those. But like, apparently just keeps food on it. And the dad's like, how bad is it going to get? It's already snowing pretty bad. So what's going to happen is they're going to get stuck out there in a snowstorm. And then there's going to be a serial killer coming to get them. I already know that. And I'm in for it. I'm in for it the whole way. I love it. Okay. So last night was Sunday. What did we do last night? Was last night Sunday? What movies did we watch last night? Or was that the night before that we watched all the movies? Last night we watched more movies. Oh, I know what we watched last night. Okay, so a lot of you said that you knew that, or a couple people said, Holiday. That's with Emma Roberts and whatever that guy's name is, Luke something. Well, Alex really liked that movie, Holiday. What were we watching? We were watching something first. Because I wanted to lay down and take a nap. And so I was like, oh, he was going through all these movies and TV shows trying to figure out something for us to watch. And I was like recommending something. And I was like recommending like something like Murder on Christmas Eve. And he was recommending something like We Should All Fall in Love Into the Circle on Christmas Eve. He's like rolling this rom-com thing. I don't understand it. But anyway. We used to love the horror movies together. What's happened to our love? Anyway. So I was like, just pick something. I'll watch whatever you want to watch. And he was like, okay. So, I did agree that tonight we would watch the movie, unless he's too tired. He doesn't want to anymore. The movie, because he watched it last year with Dan Levy. Not Good Grief. That Good Grief movie, I was really sad. I don't know that I loved that movie. Like, other people were more impacted by it than I was. I thought it was good. But I love Dan Levy. But anyway, the movie where he plays the friend, and it's like a lesbian goes home to her girlfriend's house, but like her girlfriend's not out. Do you guys know what movie I'm talking about? Dan Levy's in it. He plays like the best friend. So Alex watched it last year, and he's like, oh, let's watch it tonight. I was like, I'm tired. Can we watch it tomorrow night? Because you already picked one bad movie, so I can't watch another one. Okay, so the movie that we watched last night, I don't remember what it was called. But it wasn't a sequel or a spinoff, but it was Emma Roberts and the guy that was in Holiday. And they're a couple. And it opens with them, and they're at a wedding. and the guy that's getting married, the bride's getting ready to toss the bouquet at whoever's going to get married. You know how that all goes down. Who's going to get married next? And he's telling that Luke guy, is that even his name? Like, if it's all, like, planned, and she's going to catch it, which means you're going to get... The battery stopped. I can't believe I'm an hour already. And he's like, it's all planned out, and the battery's going to stop. The battery's going to stop on your life. And he's like, it's all planned out, and she's going to catch it, and then we're going to move it, and then you're going to get married next, and then our wives are going to have babies next to each other, and they're going to grow up and be best friends just like we are. And he's like, wait, like, I'm not ready for all that. And so the only reason I agreed to watch it is because it has Richard Gere, Diane Keaton, and Susan Sarandon and William H. Macy in it. And Susan Sarandon and Diane Keaton are probably two of my favorite actresses of life. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And I really like William H. Macy. Richard Gere, I think, is still sexy at 75 years old. But I'm like, I mean, he still looks good at 75 years old. Must be all that yoga and vegetarianism or something. I guess I'm a vegetarian, but not, I mean, he probably eats healthier than I. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But... So, Alex is like, this is supposed to be real funny. Have y'all seen this movie? It is not funny. Okay, this movie is not funny. It's Depression Station is what it is. So, it's about this Emma Roberts. Her boyfriend doesn't know. So, like, he runs in front of the bouquet and he catches it. I'm not going to ruin the whole movie for you in case you don't want to watch. You don't want to watch this movie. It's sad. It's really sad. It reminded me of my mom. This is when she was, like, heavily drinking. She would tell this story to everybody. She would go to the Marsh grocery store. They used to have, like, a video section there, like a video movie section. And she would go there to rent movies every night. She'd get her, like, a gallon of wine, you know, 2 martinis for 2 in a can. And then she'd go and she'd get a movie from there. And she went to this kid. It was, like, some high school kid or whatever that she would talk to that was in there. And he was, like, real nice to her and whatever. She knew his mom or something like that. And so she was like, I need a really funny movie. Something had happened. She and my dad had gotten into it or something. I was completely unaware of it, obviously. I was probably out smoking cigarettes with my friends. But anyway, so she was like, and she was at the time working retail, and she was like real sad and like hated her life. So anyway, she went in there and she's like, I need something really funny to watch. And so the guy sent her home with the movie. Maybe it wasn't her friend's son that worked in there then. Maybe that's the other video story. But anyway, maybe it was just some guy. I don't know, but he ended up telling her to watch the movie Men Don't Leave with Jessica Lange. Do you guys know what that movie's about? Okay. It's about this guy, and I think that he either dies or he leaves, and then she has to move her kids, like, off of their, like, country farm into the town, and she has, like, no money, and she's working, like, 3 jobs. It is a very, very sad movie. And I saw it, I don't even know if I finished it all the way, like, parts of it years ago. And my mom would say, she, like, went in there the next day and was like, why would you ever do this to me? She was so mad. She was so pissed about it. But anyway, so this movie that Alex wanted to watch last night, well, first of all, he, like, paused it at the halfway mark. I was like, can I make a cup of coffee because I'm about to fall asleep? And he was like, yeah, he paused it. I was like, how are we halfway through the slowest movie in the entire world? He goes, it is really slow, isn't it? I go, it's slow and boring. And I go, and sad, too. I said, all these people are having existential crises in this movie. And I said, and right now, with my anxiety and what's going on with me, I said, this is not the movie for me to watch. So anyway, it's about, but we did. We finished it. Because that's called self-care right there. I mean, we're not going to not finish a movie, you know? So anyway, I mean, it wasn't that depressing, but, I mean, kind of it was. But anyway, so Emma Roberts basically says to her boyfriend, you got a day to figure it out. You either want to marry me or you don't want to be with me anymore. And so then she goes and stays with her parents, who are Richard Gere and Diane Keaton. And then he goes to stay with his parents, who are Susan Sarandon and William H. Macy. And Diane Keaton, Richard Gere and Susan Sarandon are having an affair, okay, unbeknownst to the other people. And Diane Keaton and William H. Macy have, like, one night, which they deem an affair, but it's basically them just walking around having conversations with each other, because they've never had that deepness with their partners, or they haven't had that deepness with their partners in a very long time. So then they decide to have all the families over for dinner, but nobody knows that they're cheating on each other. And so it's supposed to be this comedy of errors, but it's not funny. It's basically, so the whole thing, like, it was so weird because at the beginning of it, it said based on the play. And I was like, this was a play? I've never heard of this play before. And so it is like a play. Like, I can tell you right now, I could see this thing being on stage. Like two people off to one side, 2 people off to another side, and 2 people in the middle. And it's just like, it constantly goes back and forth. So it's basically about what happens, like, to couples that fall out of love, and then what do you do for the couples that want to stay in love, and, like, how do they work through it, and then, like, they're role modeling this for their kids, who, like, the guy doesn't want to stay with her because he's afraid he's going to end up like his parents. And she believes that love is forever lasting because her mom's Diane Keaton, and she believes that. I mean, it is literally a movie like you are watching for 6 people go through an existential crisis. Like, seriously. It was bizarre to watch. I don't know why. It was not a rom-com. It was not a rom-com at all. It was sad. It was very sad. But I did look up, and did you know Susan Sarandon and Diane Keaton are both 78 years old and look fantastic, and I love them. Richard Gere is 75, and William H. Macy is 74. I love William H. Macy. But the only thing I can remember him in is Fargo. Alex just watched Shameless. I know he's in that, but the only thing I can remember him in is Fargo. What else was William H. Macy in? So anyway, after we got done with that, I was like, Alex wanted to watch. He was looking through other stuff, and I was like, I'm just going to go upstairs and take a nap. And he was like, okay. So I can't remember what he watched. I think he started watching some new show. We went through trailers for everything last night. I was trying to help him find a show. I was like, you should watch that Chippendale show that's on Hulu. Oh, because he watched some trailer for some show that's coming out. It takes place like in the 80s. It's like one word, like The Ritual, but it's not The Ritual. It's like The something. And it's about like all these, like, it's kind of like St. Elmo's Fire, but like the English version of it. It's like a show that's coming out. He's real excited about it. I didn't really think it looked that great. But when we were watching it, he was like, I said, you should watch the Chippendale show. So we watched trailers for Chippendale show. He had nothing. He didn't say anything, which means he wasn't into it. So then I was like, oh, then I said he was going through Netflix, and he like came up over A Man on the Inside with Ted Danson. I said, oh, I just watched that. And he goes, did you like it? And I was like, yeah. I said, but I forgot that he's like into this like comedy thing, romance thing right now. I said, well, I think you'd kind of like it, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. But tonight we're going to watch the Dan Levy movie, and then we've got Housewives later in the week and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. And then I took a nap, and then, oh no, you know what? What did he watch? Because he started watching some show, and I was almost asleep on my nap. I was so cozy in the bed. And then he turned, like, I opened my eyes because I could hear him moving around downstairs. I can hear when, like, he pushes the ottoman and stuff. And so I looked up, and he had turned the TV light off. And I was like, are you coming upstairs? And he's like, yeah. So we got in bed, and what did he watch last night? He watched some movie inside. I don't remember what it is. Do you hear that sound? It's a plane. But it sounds different in the winter than it does in the summer, don't you think? Anyway, and then I woke up right as he was like turning everything off and going to sleep. What was he watching? Why can't I for the life of me remember what he was watching? It was a movie. I feel like it was some, what was it? Because he was a real smart ass when he came upstairs. I said, are you going to watch it on the TV upstairs? And he goes, no, I'm going to peer over the edge and watch on the TV down in the living room. He just started laughing. I go, oh, you think you're funny? I was trying to fall asleep. He goes, well, you said that you like to sleep with me like in bed because it's cozy, so I thought I'd come up here with you and watch. I go, well, that's sweet. He goes, or do you want me to peer over to the edge and watch the TV? I go, quit being such a smart ass. What did he watch last night? Because I like looked over at it. I was like, oh, he's watching. What was he watching? It doesn't matter. But anyway, when he was done with it, it was some movie. I woke up. And then when I got up, I watched Sister Wives and I took notes. And then after I got done with Sister Wives, I waited to light my candles and my candle waxes and stuff. Because I was like, no, we're going to do that. That's Christmas. We're doing that afterwards. So I watched Sister Wives and I took notes. And then after that, I lit all the candles, the candle waxes and stuff like that. Oh, I'll tell you what I did. Then I screenshot all the books on my Christmas book list to make the video today. Like I went through, I'd done it already, but I put them in order. And the synopsises and everything so I could just go through and read all of them. So I did that. And then, what else did I do? There was something on Amazon. I needed lined notepads of things to do because I'm almost out of my pad. I have like 2 sheets left. I hope it gets here in time. It's supposed to get here tomorrow, or it's supposed to get here Wednesday or Thursday. I've got 1 piece left after tomorrow. So, and I have tons of notebooks, but I don't want to start. I want that. Do you ever feel like that? I want the one that says things to do at the top of it. It's a 300 sheet thing, so that'll last me almost a year, don't you think? I mean, 300, it will, because it's 365 days. I I've lost my mind. If I had a little fire pit out here, it would be kind of cozy. This is where people go. And then you should get a heater and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. Anyway, I did. Oh my God, do you know what I forgot I have inside? That little bonfire thing I got at Five Below. It's like a little bonfire you make with kerosene and stuff like that. I'll have to do that out here for a video. If I say it, then like 6 months from now, people will be like, why didn't you do that video? And then I'll be like, well, it's still sitting in the box in the kitchen. And then people are like, oh my God, he never did that video about... It's so serious. I said I was going to make a video about... I didn't, but I will. It's sitting in there. Anyway, I don't think it's on my list though. But it's this box. I got it at Five Below. It wasn't $5 so. And not everything at Five Below is $5. Did you know that? I think that's a scam. And not everything at a Dollar Tree is $1. Now it's like $1.25. Did you guys know that? They should call it the Dollar Tree plus inflation, is what they should call it. We're climbing the Dollar Tree of inflation, is what they should say. Anyway, this coat's kind of nice, don't you think? I like it. I'm gonna wear it more this winter. I didn't really wear it out a lot last year. I wore it out here to film and stuff. Okay, so anyway, you guys don't care about that. So I filmed, well, you probably don't care about this either. Oh, you do? Why am I in such a silly mood? Alex is in for it tonight, I'm telling you. I'm gonna tickle him. We tickle each other sometimes. Do you guys ever do that? He thinks it's so funny. Like when I'm not in the mood, or he'll do the boop thing on my nose. I'm like, what, don't? Okay. It's cute though. It is cute. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Okay, so I watched Sister Wives, took notes on that, and then I lit my candles. I wanted to have everything ready before I read the Christmas book, and then I was going to read Maximum Ride. And so I did that, and then it was like 3 o'clock, I think. I was waiting until 3. I read till 3 o'clock. And then I was like, okay, at 3 o'clock, I'm going to start something. Well, I was kind of convinced I was going to watch Chernobyl on Max, because everybody was like, said it was really good. I went in and looked. It's only 5 episodes. So I started Chernobyl last night. It's really, I mean, I knew that it was based on the true story of what happened and all that kind of stuff. And I know most of what happened. It's really sad, you guys. Like, to go, I mean, a lot of the shows that I watch are sad, but they're thrillers too. I mean, there's nothing that's thrilling about that. I mean, that's just sad. And I watched the first episode. I mean, it starts off tragic. The whole show is tragic. I don't know. I don't know what I expected. I guess I think it does get more into like the court aspect of it and all that kind of stuff and the investigation that goes into what happened. But it's only 5 episodes. It's fantastically done. It's fantastically done. I just don't know that right now is the time for me to watch it. It's really sad. Like watching it was really making me sad. And so when I got done with it, the first episode, I was like, I'm going to watch the first episode and see what I think. Now, I might tonight turn it back on and get back into it and finish it. I don't know. We'll have to see how I feel. But I was like, I need something. I need a thriller or I need something fun. And so many of you guys had told me, whenever I say so many, it's always like hundreds. I mean, I only get like 30 comments a video or something, so 5 out of there. Anyway, a couple people have mentioned to me to watch the show 1,000 Pound Best Friends that's on Max. I think it's on TLC, but it's also on Max, because they said if you like 1,000 Pound Sisters with Amy and Tammy Slayton, you'll like 1,000 Pound Best Friends. So I started it a couple weeks ago, and I watched like 5 minutes of it, and I was like, I'm not into this. Well, last night, I don't know what's different. I don't know why when I start a show, like what did I start, and I got like 5 minutes into it. Do you guys remember what it was? It was something I just reacted to on my Peter Watches TV channel, but I was like, I'm not into this at all. And then I got back into it, I was like, maybe it was The Man on the Inside, but I don't think that's what it was. Do you know what? Elspeth and Matlock comes back this week. But anyway, I don't know what it was. But it's something where I was like, I watched like the first 5 minutes and I came back later and I watched it again. So I started watching 1,000 Pound Best Friends last night after I lit like I lit all my candles and candle waxes and stuff like that. By the way, our own candle company, the candle waxes, this is what they are right here, this candle. Our own candle company. I bought the mulled cider on Amazon of the candle wax melts or the wax melts. The wax melts, like this candle smells if you get right on top of it, but the wax melt, oh my God, I got 4 of them of the mulled cider. They are so good. I'm kind of like a little hesitant to buy some of their other wax melts because I'm like, I wonder if it's just these. It was weird that they were on Amazon anyway. I don't know why they were on there because they sell everything off their website. I just saw them on there, so I was like, I'm going to order them on there. But I really, really like them. I've gone through a pack already of the mulled cider. They're strong, but not like super strong. But then the whole downstairs of the house smells that way. I like it when I go to bed at night because, you know, everything's out. And then I lay in bed and I can smell the smells. It's like, smells real good. Anyway, so Alex and I were talking about, because I'm putting the Christmas bedding on, I was like, now which blanket are you wanting to keep that has Boo Radley's scent on it? Because he was like wanting to do the whole thing that he did with Pee-Pee and Tucker and everything. With each of the dogs, like whatever blanket was their favorite, he like wraps up very special in like a ribbon and puts their favorite toy on it and stuff like that. So he was talking about the purple blanket. I said, I'm not ready to give up the purple blanket yet. I'm still sleeping with that purple blanket at night. I put it in between the pillows sometimes, and then I'll just like touch it. It makes me feel a little bit more secure. Like a security blanket, like I'm 4 years old, I know, but it does. One day I'll wake up and I won't need it anymore, but right now I'm still struggling with Boo not being here, you know? And so he said something about the ghost comforter, and he goes, I think those were the last blankets that he was sleeping on. I said, the last blankets he was sleeping on was the Costco blankets on the floor. And so I like picked one up and they still smell like him, because like the first night or two I slept with the Costco blankets, and I was like, they still smell like him. And he was like, well, maybe then we should do the Costco blankets. I said, babe, we can do whatever you want. We can wrap all of them up if you want. So he's going to do that. And when I take all the bedding off, we haven't really talked about it, in all honesty. I think he's waiting for me to do it because I'm the one that will have more of the attachment issue. But like, we still have food up in the counter or up in the cabinet. And the bed, the dog's bed, the big bed, is still down in the living room. And like the two beds, the Boo Radleys and the Costco blankets, are next to my bed, like pushed in the corner. And it's not like I go over there and I push them. It's just like, I think I am emotionally ready that I could like put them down in the basement, because we're going to keep this stuff until we know what to do with it. So many of you guys, it was really helpful, honestly, said that like you guys, like your dog's passed away 5-6 years ago and you still haven't thrown it away and you don't know if you ever will be. I mean, we're not keeping everything. Like a lot of the clothes that didn't mean anything we won't keep. A lot of that stuff, I mean the treats and the food, we're, you know, like we've donated so much of it already. And then like the rest of the food that's up there, I kind of had forgotten about it. The medicine we already threw away. I kept 2 syringes. Alex was like, out of all the things that you wanted to keep, you want to keep the syringes? I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I said something to Tanya. Tanya was like, I kept syringes, you know, from her dog. So she was like, I have a whole thing of medicine up there. I think it was Tanya that said that. But anyway, I think we're both kind of like stuck in time a little bit with not, I mean, he could easily just pick up the bed and be like, do you want to put the bed in the basement? Neither one of us have really said it. We just kind of walk around it. I mean, it's kind of like a staple of our house. Boo Radley didn't even sleep in this bed down here. I mean, for years. He did. Every once in a while, he'd go in there. Towards the end, like if he got so tired of pacing or whatever, he would fall asleep in there. But very rarely did he ever just like go in that bed. He liked the small little beds upstairs, like the purple bed and the other one that I bought him. But the purple bed he loved. The purple bed we will definitely be keeping. And it smells a lot like him. And the gray bed we'll be keeping too. But the Costco blankets and stuff he'll probably fold up and put in there. And then eventually we'll put the purple blanket in there with it. I'm just not ready to not have that close. It's like the one thing I have that's close to me. I don't know, I'm just still really struggling with the whole Boo Radley thing of him being gone. But like the bed in the living room, I could put it downstairs now. The food just needs, all of it needs to, that we have up in the cabinet, needs to just be bagged up and donated, or I'll give it to Caroline or something. Alex has slowly started moving the toys. I mean, Boo never played with toys, and we've had the toys up there since Tucker passed away in the bedroom for 2.5 years, underneath the couch, like in these bins. So we just need to go through those. When Tucker passed away, I was so stuck emotionally after the accident and stuff that I remember Alex asking me something about the toys, and I was like, I'm not ready yet to put the toys away. And he was like, no, I'm not really either. And so I don't know if we just kind of like forgot, or if he was like, I don't know. That's probably, I need to ask him, like, are you being, you know, sensitive to me? Like, because we can start putting some of the stuff up. I don't want to erase Boo's memory, you know? But at the same time, it's like, we don't need dog beds sitting out when we have no dogs. There's no reason for it. And I don't need to keep things exactly the same. I mean, part of me moving through the pain is realizing that. To have a blanket that smelled like him, that I, like, pick up every once in a while is one thing. But to have, I mean, the beds are not around that. Like, that one is, because it's just been there for ever since we got it. It's that pup thing that I did a review of it years and years and years ago. I mean, that was when Pee-Pee was still alive. Pee-Pee's been gone for 5 years this month, you know? So, I mean, Tucker didn't even, Tucker would sleep in it sometimes, but Boo Radley never did. So 2.5 years, not one dog has really slept in that bed because so there's no reason for us to keep it. I don't know. And it's used enough that we can't really give it away to somebody. I mean, we could probably give it away to a dog organization and they would like it. I need to call some of my friends that work for dog rescues. The thing about dog rescues is I found, okay, and like donating the food, I found this, was that like, they won't take anything that's opened. And like a lot of the things they want it to be lightly used, like a bed. Like they wouldn't take like an overly used bed. They would take a lightly used bed. That is not lightly used. That has been like used a lot. I mean, if we threw it in the washer, would it be fine? Yeah, probably. Something like that I would more likely like donate to Tanya so that she could have it like in her office over kennel for like when she has bigger dogs and stuff like that. Because it's a big bed. So I'll probably just, donate it. Just give it to Tanya, you know? Wash it and give it to her. But see, even saying that makes me kind of sad just to, like, not have it here. Just to, like, look at it on the floor. But, like, it's not like they're coming back. I mean, that's the hard part about grief, right? I was in such a good mood. Why did I start talking about this? That's the hard part about it. It's like, they're not coming back. I'm fully aware of that. I mean, his ashes are on the mantle. You know, every night Alex and I talk about him and how much we miss him and stuff, but there's no reason to keep this stuff around forever, you know? His little water bowl, because, you know, he ate off a plate, so we would just have one metal water bowl and then the water bowl container. It was like this, you know, they have, anyway. It's been on the counter. I washed it the night after he passed away, and I put it on the counter. It's been on the counter ever since then. I think Alex is just being like, when Peter's ready to get rid of this stuff, we'll get rid of it. The medicine I threw away right away. I was like, I don't think there's any reason to keep it. So I don't know. That's one of the things this week. This week I want to put the Christmas tree up, definitely. I want to get the Christmas bedding on, definitely. Bring out, I have the Believe sign I want to bring out here. And I also want to pull up some of the other stuff from the basement. And then I probably need to figure out what to do with the rest of the Boo Radley stuff and what we're going to keep and what we're going to put away. I don't know. Watching the videos the other night really helped me. I woke up that next day and I felt like so much better. And I don't know if it was from watching those videos or what it was. I don't know. I don't know. I know I'm not ready to get another dog yet. I do know that. I think it's not just about me taking a vacation without having to worry about it. It's not just with me spending time on my own. I wish I was ready, in all honesty, because I'm not getting any younger. And so whatever dog I get could be my last. I think about that a lot, you know? I mean, if I get another dog, I mean, I'm 52, so when I'm 53, let's say when I get another dog, and that dog lives to be as old as Boo Radley, I mean, I'll be 68. If that dog passes away then, or if I get another one, I'd like to at least have two together. I mean, I'm not going to get two right away. I would like to get one and then like maybe another one a year later. I mean, I would, if a bonded brother pair came up like Boo and Tucker, I would get them immediately. Absolutely immediately. If they were litter mates or a bonded pair, I would get them immediately. I mean, not today, like when I'm ready. Like if a bonded pair showed up and like somebody reached out to me. I have people all the time. I feel like everybody that I know in my life, like volunteers or has people that they know that work at rescues or they work at rescues. People are constantly sending me stuff. I'm just not ready. But it's also just not about like wanting to take a trip, wanting to do this, wanting to do that. Each day it gets a little bit easier to be in the house alone. It's not as hard as it was when I, first got up. I mean, some of the things, it's like, well, I don't have to go outside 15 times a day. I mean, it's kind of weird sometimes when I, like, go outside for the first time, because I would always wake up and take him out right away. At first, it made me sad. Now it's kind of like, there's other things I do during the day, I mean, it's like just adjusting to my new schedule. It doesn't mean that I don't miss him. It just means that, I don't know. I have to kind of, like, I need to move through this grief before I'm able to be in a good spot to give love to another dog, Not that I need to be, like, over Boo Radley, like, over him, quote unquote, but, like, or Tucker or PP, but I don't think, like a breakup. This is one of the hardest losses I've ever gone through in my entire life. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea why. I really don't. The feelings that I feel, you know, people ask me all the time, they're like, it's totally different than comparing it to losing a human being. They're completely two different feelings, two different emotions. And my mom had been sick for so long that I was kind of prepared for it, in all honesty. I think that, like, you know, I've had friends of mine that lost parents or lost kids tragically. You cannot compare it to that at all. Like, you can't compare my mom being in a hospital for 3 months and all of us sitting around getting to say goodbye to her as, like, friends of mine that have lost parents or lost kids tragically. Like, that quick. You cannot compare it to that. That grief that they go through is just incomprehensible compared to what I went through. I was able to prepare for it. Friends of mine that have had, like, parents of theirs that have, like, you know, they're just gone. I mean, like, it's a completely different kind of grief. I haven't had that happen, obviously, with a child or with parents, but I have had that happen with friends where, you know, I was going to say many, and then I was not, but I have had many friends of mine where I've gotten a call, like, at 10 o'clock at night that so-and-so passed away, you know, from an overdose, or a lot of different people that I've known in my life. And obviously it doesn't feel the same as a spouse or, you know, parent or child, obviously, but it still hurts. The grief feels different. There's so many unanswered questions. There's so many unanswered things. I don't know that I can, like, you can't compare the grief that you feel with a human being to the grief of a pet. It feels completely different. And the grief that I felt with Pee-Pee and Tucker versus Boo Radley is weird because each of them I felt so completely different about how they passed away. I mean, none of them were easy. But, like, Pee-Pee was literally, like, I mean, we did everything together. That one, I mean, it just devastated me. I thought with each one it would be a little bit easier. Tucker was, at the end, was so sick. Like, I mean, it just was really bad. And so, but with Boo Radley, I don't know, I wasn't done yet. I didn't feel like it was time for our story to be over. I mean, God decided differently, but I didn't feel like it was time for our story to be over. I don't know. It feels weird. I also don't know if maybe it's like the period of my life. To be honest with you, the grief that I'm feeling about Boo Radley, I do believe that it has a lot to do with Boo Radley. And I do believe that it has a lot to do with he and I just being alone here in this house for the last 2 years when Alex was at work. But I also think it has a lot to do with things that have happened and the accident and me now being at home all the time. And, like, me, you know, like, I've said this for a long time, that, like, sometimes when you go to a funeral, like, and you, like, get real upset, you're not necessarily grieving that specific loss. Have you ever been to a funeral before where, like, you're overcome with emotion and it's like you don't even really, like, you went there because it's like somebody's mother but you didn't really know them that well and all of a sudden you become overcome with grief? Have you ever had that feeling happen? That's happened to me before, right? And what you realize in that moment is it's not necessarily that specific situation is why you're feeling the grief. It's that you're processing, like my therapist referred to it as, combined grief. And so I feel like that's what I'm going through and why this feels so different than me. I feel like, you know, like when Alex came into my life, it was like, even though I was still struggling with my mom and things like that, it really felt like the beginning of a new era, the end of an old era. My mom was kind of the last part of that period of my life, you know? And so it's weird because it's not like a fresh start. Like, Alex and I are still together. Alex and I are planning things, you know, like, I mean, it's going to sound weird to say this, but we're more in love than ever, you know, getting through this. I think that that's been the one thing in our relationship is that tough times have really brought us together and made us closer, and the intimacy has grown stronger and our bonds have grown stronger, you know, and we really lean on each other. Alex is big on the word teammate, you know, he really loves that word, and I think that that's really helped us in these difficult times. But it feels like not just the end of an era with the dogs, not just the end of an era with this or that, but it feels like I've come to the completion of some period of my life But like when my mom passed away, it was like I was going to move to Colorado, or I was going to do this, or I was going to do that. And then I met Alex, and I wasn't ready for a relationship, and he didn't want one either, but I'm just going to talk about me for a second. Like, I wasn't wanting to get in a relationship, but I definitely wasn't wanting to get in a relationship to fix things that were going on with me. The battery's been at the halfway mark for a second, so I think it's going to probably die. I might have to go get another battery if I'm going to vlog much longer. But when I met Alex, I was not looking. I was very independent. I had grown very independent that year. You know, I'd been without my ex since the previous December. My mom had passed away. I resigned from my camera stopped. It was at the 30-minute mark. And I should have just went and got a new battery now. But I was like, I don't know. When my mom passed away, and I was so lost and so numb, and then I went and started visiting my friend in Denver that summer, and I was like, I'm going to move. I was very independent. I was very, very independent. And then I met Alex. I think part of it, that was part of my fear of wanting to get in a relationship, is I don't think that I wanted to be dependent on anybody again. I think that was a lot of it, you know? And so I was very resistant to, like, it's just fun, we're just dating. And he was too. But I'm somebody that, like, if I spot like spot love and I fall in love, I can't, you know? And I did very quickly. And it's so weird because we're so completely different people. I mean, Alex and I used to talk about that all the time. You know, we're so completely different. I think our long-term goals are very similar, and they always have been. And I think that's one of the things that's helped us together. And we've loved getting to know each other, our interests, you know, whether that be music or movie. I mean, it's like, you know, that. It's kind of the thing where they say opposites attract. I mean, that really is very true with us. To the point now where it's like a lot of our opposites are now similarities between the two of us. But I wasn't looking for someone to save me out of that. I didn't want to be in a relationship. And then I just was. And then, you know, Alex's family took me in, and I became part of that family. And Alex and I started developing friends together. And it was like this new life started to build, right? Well, my aunt Kathy and Uncle Dave and Caroline, I mean, Alex started becoming part of that. And it's like, you know, my dad and my stepmom, they're still doing great and whatever. But it's like my aunt and uncle are gone. Somebody's yelling. Caroline's son David has moved out, you know, with his girlfriend. People are getting older. A lot of my friends that I had back then have passed away or have moved. A lot of our friends, I've talked about this on here recently, have been married and divorced, and, you know, we don't even know where half of them are. You know, the friends that we had 16 years ago when we got together, it's like maybe a couple of them. You know, even like Melissa and Jason, like, we met them right before we got married. Like, they were not somebody that we were, like, close with when we first got together. We didn't meet them till, like, right before we got married. I can remember the night we met them, because they got married at the Bellagio, and we were talking about getting married at the Cosmopolitan, and they were talking about how, and it was literally, like, a week before we were leaving. It was a Friday night. And that Saturday night was our joint bachelor party, and they came to our joint bachelor party, and then we just became, like, instant friends. So a lot of our friends from back in the day, like, I don't even know where they are today, you know, whatever. A lot's changed. A lot has changed in 16 years. A lot of people are gone, you know. I mean, when I first started dating Alex, you know, Fufu was in high school. Now he's married, and, you know, and they're pregnant, and they just moved into a house in San Diego, you know, and, you know, Alex has a cousin in San Francisco and another cousin in, you know, in Las Vegas that used to live here. I mean, a lot has changed, you know. And I've gotten older, and Alex has gotten older, and we had 3 dogs, and they're gone. And that's a huge part of it. And that was a constant through all of that, you know? That was a constant through all of that. And so I think for me, it kind of feels like the end of another era. Not just an era with the dogs, but like so much has happened just in the last couple years. I mean, the accident is a significant part of that, right? And then the healing from the accident and the coming to terms with the emotional deal of all of that and whatever, and the therapy. I mean, and I'm coming up on 30 years of sobriety. And I'm so incredibly thankful for that. But it's a double-edged sword, because I think about, like, all the people along the way that I met, and where are they now? And so many of them are gone, you know? And, like, why me? Why am I still here? And it's, like, it's amazing. 30 years. Like, I never thought I'd make it 30 days, let alone 30 years, you know? And I'm coming up on 30 years sober. In 15 days, I will have been sober 30 years if I make it there. It's crazy. But, you know, I'm asking myself a lot of questions, like, what next? This is why this movie last night was not the movie for us to watch, you know? I'm like, what's next for me? What's next for the next 30 years of my sobriety? What's next for the last part of my life? The next year? The next dog? Alex and I are good, you know? I'm good with my cousin Caroline, my dad, and my stepmom. Alex's family, we're good, you know? Tanya and I are good. Nikki and Mel and I are good. I've got it good. Our house is good. I've got it good, but it's like, before, when and I'm a big believer in transitional changes. Before, when I was going through this major change in my life, it was like everything that I knew from my past was over. My job, my relationship, I resigned from my career, or my job. My ex and I had broken up, and my mom passed away, you know? Got out of that apartment, moved in here, you know? And then Alex and I started dating, and it was like everything from before was gone. Everything. And then it was like everything was new. Well, this time it's different. Because I feel like I'm moving through the pain of the accident. I feel like I'm on the other side now of acceptance of that and what that looks like. Like I said the other day in the video, I cannot continue to live in remorse and guilt for the rest of my life. It's not healthy for me, and I don't think it's healthy for anybody else. I don't think it's doing any good. It doesn't mean that I don't feel bad about it, and I don't think about it, and I don't, you know, try to live my life better or make better choices as a result of what I went through. But there was nothing I could do about that accident. I'm fully aware of that. When you guys say that in the comment sections, it was a medical emergency. There's nothing I could do about it. If there was, do you think I wouldn't go back? I mean, that I wouldn't have done something that day, or if I could go back in time, I could change it, or if I could replace places with him, that I would be there and my life would be over instead of his. I would do all of that. I processed that all to the point where I can't process it anymore. I have to let myself free from that to some degree. And so I'm coming to the end of that, and then Boo Radley passes away, and it's the end of the dogs, and then it's the end of a lot of things, you know, like never driving again, you know? I mean, like that was weird, you know? And I think, perfectly sane decision for the situation, but it was weird, you know, like, that for so much of my life I drove, and somebody mentioned that the other day. They said, I think you're grieving the loss that you haven't really, it's a combined grief of the accident, and the dogs, and the questioning whether or not I should even be here. You know, why do my friends and family get to see me when his friends and family don't? I question that a lot, you know? I've processed a lot in therapy and with my sponsor and stuff. And so, it's the accident, it's the changing of the seasons, it's me figuring out what's next for me on YouTube. You know, what do I want to do next? I'm loving my, like, Peter Watches TV channel, but it's like, what do I want to do next? You know, I love my vlog. I don't plan on stopping this. Do I need to do anything with my YouTube, or do I just keep on going what I'm doing? Do I want to write books, or do I not want to? You know, do I want to make a movie? Do I want to travel around the world? What do I want to do next? What are the things that I want to do before I no longer can do them anymore? I'm asking myself a lot of those questions, you know? And so it's entering a new era of my life. And so much like I felt like when my mom passed away, I feel like I've got one leg over here, and I feel like I've got one leg over here, not like the same where we shit all over today, but like, I'm kind of like on uneven ground. I feel like I'm starting to come over and be on like solid ground. I feel like that. Each day feels a little bit better. I think it's a lot of, like, most of my life since I've gotten sober. If you're sober, you'll get this. I think if you're not sober, you probably got it from a long time ago. The battery's gonna die. So I gotta stop this quick. But there are things in my life that I have been... I'm gonna go get another battery. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm not gonna vlog for a whole lot longer, but... my husband's making, there goes the, oh, not this tripod as well, don't break on me. It's still a little bit tight. I thought I just turned the light on in the kitchen. My husband was teasing me. I went inside and I was like, hello. He was like, hello. I said, are you still upstairs all cozy? He's like, yep. And he goes, what are you doing? He's like, are you cold yet? And I go, yeah, it's cold. And he goes, are your butt cheeks freezing? I go, shut up. But what I was going to say before I stopped to get another battery was that, you know, I don't know, maybe the only thing I know is being sober for the last 30 years. So I don't know if it's a sober thing or if it's not a sober thing. But I feel like it's one of those things that, like, once you get sober, like, when you get sober, there's a lot of things you grow up and grow into that, like, people that aren't sober don't have to get. Like, they just get naturally, right? And one of those things is that I think that I've always led with a certain amount of certainty in my life. With a certain amount of, like, a lot of what I have done in my life, a lot of the choices that I've made have been, I don't make a lot of decisions out of risk. Like, I don't have a lot of risk in my life. I'm not a risk taker. I lean to the side of safety. I don't think that that would surprise anybody. And so a lot of the decisions that I've made in my life, you know, were decisions that I really, really thought through. Decisions that, of my life that, like, words that are going around my head don't seem right. Like, careless or use, like, anyway, I made, like, decisions that I made in my life, I really thought through, you know, like, when I wanted to become a counselor and I got my master's degree, like, that was just something that I knew that, like, I wanted to do. And so I applied to the program, I went to school, I worked full time. I don't even really remember thinking a lot about it. Just like, this is just what you're doing, you know? When I got sober, I felt so behind anyway to everybody else, even though I think about that sometimes, like, I got sober at 22 and a half. I mean, today, there's a lot of people that are getting sober a lot younger than 22 and a half. But when I got sober, 22 and a half was really young. I mean, it was like, people considered us babies. There was only a few of us around in Indianapolis that got sober. Maybe 3 or 4 of us that got sober at that young, at that time. And I think there's only like 1 or 2 of us that are still left. This woman that I know, that she and I used to go to meetings. I talked about that before in here. But there weren't that many people that were in their early 20s that were getting sober, you know? When I meet people today and they're like sober as long as I am and they're my age and I'm like, how old were you when they got sober? And they're like 23, 24. They did not, I'm like, where were you? And they're like, oh, Michigan or Arizona. Like, they were not, or, you know, Las Vegas or California. Like, they weren't sober. We all knew each other that were young here and weren't necessarily close friends. We just knew each other. I remember the woman I know today, I'd see her on the IUPUI campus at school and stuff like that. So after I got sober, I felt like I was behind everybody else. You know, when I got sober, everybody was graduating from college, you know? When people were, you know, buying their first house, I was like, just trying to, like, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't buying no houses. And so I always felt behind. And so every decision that I made, you know, like when I started working in treatment, I was like, okay, well, I want to do this, what I need to do this. And so I was like that. You know, when I left treatment, that was that was a thought through decision. And I talked to my sponsor at the time at length about. I talked to, you know, my boyfriend at the time. I talked to, you know, even though, I had been thinking about it for months and then we broke up. But, my mom, I talked to a lot about it. Friends of mine, Tanya, I talked about it for a long time. And that was not a decision that I just woke up one day and I said, I'm going to resign from this position, you know? It was a really thought-through decision that I made. I remember going in there. I went in there the day before I left on Christmas break and sat down with my supervisor. It was a very sad situation, you know? And I was sad about leaving, and she was sad about me leaving, and it was time. And, you know, breaking up with my ex, like, that was a decision that I really, really thought a lot about. And I thought, if we could just make it through Christmas. And then I came home that day, and he was like, I think I had already made the decision, but he was like, either we're going to make it work or you're not. What's the decision? And I was like, I think it's over, you know? But, like, going to get my master's degree, staying sober, you know, relationships that I got into, I've always been so careful. I've always been so careful and not taking many risks. And I've always, like, you know, done things with such certainty in my life. YouTube's probably the one thing that I haven't done with much certainty in my life, where I didn't. But even with YouTube, I have, to some degree, you know, where I think with some things, I think things through a lot. I don't, probably more than people really think that I do. I really do think things through. Probably too much. Y'all been telling me I've been overthinking too much lately, you know? But what I'm getting to is that for the last 30 years of my life, the decisions that I've made, where I live, savings, how to set money into savings, like, that being so important to me, that now I'm at the point where I'm like, well, you've been saving this money for all this time to do what with, you know? Now you're at the point to enjoy it. Are you going to? Like, what are you going to do, you know? Or are you just going to sit there and just continue to save until one day you're not here anymore and there was no point for it? You know, like, you start asking yourself those questions. It's like, my whole since I got sober, I think it was so important to me. I think part of it was really my dad, because my dad has been somebody that's been so responsible his entire life, that I was so irresponsible when I was using, that when I got sober, I was like, it's really important for me to make responsible decisions as far as like, you know, saving money and going to school and getting my degree and then my master's degree, or finishing my degree and then getting my master's degree and doing this and doing that. And, you know, like, I feel like it's time for me to not be so certain about some of the choices that I make. I hope that makes sense. Like, I think it's time for me my ex, not so much my first ex, but my last, because partly because we didn't have the financial resources, but my ex and I, like, we had the same schedule. We worked Tuesday through Saturday. And so, like, on a Saturday, he would come home from work, and I think I talked about this not too long ago. And I would set up, like, I would have, like, scheduled for us to, like, go somewhere out of town, scheduled to, like, you know, the hotel, and we'd go to the casino for the night, or I'd plan a trip, and we'll have, you know, plane tickets that we were leaving that night at 10 or whatever, you know? I kind of stopped doing that through the years, you know, like, writing, like, poems and love notes. I did a lot of that with my ex, and then I think when I got with Alex, and then things weren't going good with us, I just kind of stopped. And not just with Alex, but with everybody in my life. I just kind of, like, I started leaning always towards safety, to the point where I wasn't, like, stepping into my life and enjoying it fully anymore, if that makes sense. Like, I used to always say that, like, to really fully enjoy life, it's like eating from, like, a really juicy pear, and the juice is just going down your face, right? And, like, that's how I wanted to live my life. I think it's time for me to step into this next period of my life, this next era, or whatever it's going to be, with less certainty. I already have a partner that wants to do that. I mean, if I said to him, if I walked up there tonight and said, I'm going to book us some red eyes, we're going to go to Las Vegas tonight, he'd be like, let's do it. You know, let's do it. I'll call in sick or I'll call into work the next 3 days, and I'll work from the hotel room. You know, he would do it, you know? I've already got a partner that's going to do that. I don't want to run broke doing that, but can I do more of that from time to time? Absolutely, and I need to do that, and I need to stop living so safe and so certain. And I think that's part of what happened. I think part of what happened was I was so safe and so certain that then when things came up, like Boo Radley passing away, that I could not control, or like the accident, obviously, or pancreatitis even, it just shook my world. I didn't know what to do with it, because I couldn't, you know, like, I couldn't control it or have certainty around it or make decisions, or I wasn't in that decision making. I wasn't in it at all, you know? I wasn't in Boo getting sick. I wasn't in the decision of the accident that happened that day. I wasn't in the decision of having pancreatitis. I wasn't in the decision of friends of mine that are overdosing, or my aunt and uncle dying, you know? Neither was anybody else in the world when those things happened to them. But I think that for so long, I lived this world of such safety and certainty. And honestly, I think it really was a boundary trying to keep me safe from getting hurt. And what I realized was I got hurt anyway. So I gotta just live my life. I gotta just live my life and enjoy my life as much as possible. And if tomorrow I decide to get a dog, I get a dog. If tomorrow I decide to go to Paris, France, I go to Paris, France, you know? Tomorrow I decide to write a movie or write a book, I write a movie or write a book. If tomorrow I decide to start 8th, 9th, and 10th channels, I do it. And isn't that what life should really be about? Is just enjoying it as much as you possibly can, and living with a kind heart, and trying to pass it on to other people. People that are, like, so happy and full of ideas and exuberant and doing fun stuff. And that doesn't have to look like taking a trip to Paris. That can be looking like, I don't know, like decorating for Christmas. Like, that excites me. A couple of people last night sent me pictures of their Christmas tree because they said, you asked for it in your vlog. And that made me happy, right? It doesn't have to be huge. I think part of, and I don't want to stop vlogging. I mean, tonight I want to start vlogging because I'm getting cold, but I don't want to ever stop vlogging on this channel because I love doing it. I think one of the things is that I talk so much on here for like an hour to an hour and a half every day that I'm talking through every choice that I think to some degree people think that like in my, like when the camera is off that I'm like in my head. But I think that kind of to some degree has kind of started to happen in the last couple of years. I'm already somebody that lives in my head and thinks everything through anyway. It's like when I was talking about the affiliate links the other day. I mean, there were so many of you guys that were like, Peter, you're overthinking this. Just do it or don't do it. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. I gotta start living that way. I gotta live. It's just time to live, you know? And so it feels like I'm on the precipice of some big changes happening. I don't know what that looks like, but it just feels like it's coming. This was good for me tonight. This was really cathartic. So thank you guys for listening. I'm gonna go inside now before I do freeze my butt cheeks off, like my husband said, my butt cheeks, freeze my butt cheeks off. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. That was really, really helpful. I think you guys sometimes don't realize how much you help me. You talk about how much I help you, and you listen to my vlogs during this and during that, but you guys help me a lot too, and I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna get off here now and go inside. It is cold. It's not too cold though. Like I could sit out here for another hour, but I'm not going to. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Monday and a fantastic beginning to your week. Let me know what you're doing this week in the comment section below. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!